Yeah. What's going on, Rick? Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. It's just a hangout stream tonight. I don't have anything planned. Stuff's been moved around and missing, and you can see that I moved the switch wire down there. I've got the BQBX that's just been sitting there. Um, the old Lulzbot is now out of here as well. Um, I've got one Centauri carbon. I slid it way that way. And I've got room for the second one, which hopefully will be shipping out today, tomorrow. Whoops. But hopefully the next day or two it'll ship out, and then hopefully we'll have it soon. Kaz, good to see you. But I don't really have any plans. It's just kind of a dreary, lazy day. So I had to work all day, and now I'm home, and the missus is watching a show, and she might go see the neighbor across the street who's a friend of hers and hang out there for a little while. So told her I'm just going to come out here and maybe stream for a little bit. She said, go have fun. I said, okay. So here I am. Listening as you eat your supper. Good. Jano, holy crap. Good to see you. Maddie, what's going on, bud? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, Uncle Dan don't have any plans tonight, bud. We're just hanging out and chatting. I did have some thoughts and some things maybe we could talk about. Like, I know everybody's enjoying my Meshtastic talks. So I got that case from Tony G printed. Got that little radio in here with the 3,000 milliamp hour battery and the big whip antenna. Thanks to YouTube, I've got enough money coming to buy a couple more of the starter kits, and then I'm going to build out one of these mobile units. So we'll have one of these mobile units set up on top of my car. So that'll be pretty cool. I did see that you got the Lurge running, so that's awesome. But it's Z is weird, but doesn't affect it much. Well, hopefully you get it all figured out, bud. Like I said, just keep playing around and keep messing with it. And as you have problems, just keep watching videos. Remember, just because the video is not directly about your printer, the problem itself, you know, on a different printer could be the same problem you're having on yours. So remember that. There's Sean. What's going on, good sir? Hey, do me a favor. Shoot me a message with your address info. I will get it on I'll get it on the box here, and we'll get this thing sent out to you, because I've got the stuff boxed up and ready to go. I did forget to take some of the spacers out of here, so not a big deal. I'll just print some more. So you got a box full of stuff here. I'll get this shipped out to you. Just need that. So yeah, fire off your address info to me. I'll get this thing dropped in the mail tomorrow. When I leave work, I will stop at the post office near where I work at and have them ship it out to you. I do have 2 of the car units. What I was going to say is thanks to YouTube money paying out finally. It only took me probably 4 months to get a payout from YouTube, but because of that, I'm going to order probably 2 more of the units. By the way, Sean, I think I showed you this, but what do you think, man? It's got the 3,000 milliamp hour battery in there, and this is printed in the yellow ABS, and then this black part is actually printed in just PLA, which not great probably for long term, but it doesn't get hot enough. So I do like this. Kind of wish that I had the GPS module and a screen, because then I'd reprint it with the screen on the front and a GPS module in it, which would be cool for when I'm out riding around and picking stuff up, which I have picked up 2 nodes. This one, and then obviously there's 2 other nodes in my area. So eyeball that Heltec V4. They scream a little louder. Oh, than the racks. Okay, yeah, I was looking at the Heltec stuff too, and I think I might get probably 2 of the Heltecs, to be honest with you, and then just take this and put it in one of those, and then I can put this up on top of the car. You know. But I figured this in one of these, put it in one of these. I can shorten up the USB cable and then stick it in here. But yeah, I figure the Heltecs, I could get those to wear, like kind of carry around, whatever. You got the screen on them, so if a message comes up, you can read the message right on there and then grab your phone and talk back. But I figured, like this guy here, get it set up with a 3,000 milliamp hour battery in there, hook up the cell or the solar, and then a couple magnets, stick it to the roof. Send you back over some magnets once you get yours built up. Hey, not a problem, man, not a problem. Worst case scenario, I've got them in my, I think I've got the magnets still in my wish list. If they show up, great. If not, I'll just hop on Amazon here. I get paid in a couple of days. I'll hop on Amazon and just order a pack of magnets myself. Because who knows? I might build out a few of these. I might get friends or family that want one, and it'd be nice to have some extra magnets laying around. So wouldn't worry about it. Gabs, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's see here. There we go. All right, Sean. I will, after the stream, I will get that. I'm going to minimize your thing just so I don't accidentally dox you, bud. But I will, I'll get that put on the box and we'll get that sent out to you here tomorrow. So it'll be on its way. Cruising by to say hi and thumbs up. All right, Down Under. Thank you, thank you. But yeah, so let's see. For on person, really like those T1000s. Yeah, I did look at those. Those look pretty cool. They are nice. And like I said, the Helltex would be kind of like the V4 would be kind of cool for something. I don't know. For me, oddly enough, I like the simplicity of these things and being able to just buy the module, snap it on, and that's it. But at the same time, I get it. So, but I'm going to look at the Helltech stuff and whatnot. Arizona Drifter, good to see you. I told the missus, I said, since I got some YouTube money coming in, it ain't much. Ain't gonna lie, about 116 bucks. So I could buy a couple things, nothing crazy, but use my YouTube monies to feed this crazy little new addiction. Like I said, for those who kind of missed it, the second Centauri, they received them today. So hopefully there'll be a second one over here by the end of the week. And then what I'd like to do, local admin, what's going on? That's 2 T-Decks. Yeah. Yeah. Good to see you, by the way, local admin. It's been a while. Hope you're doing well. But then back to what I was saying is I'm probably going to look at Facebook Marketplace and maybe buy a couple of secondhand Centauri carbons, just because I want to stick with one ecosystem. I'm tired of having like all these different printers and all these different profiles to dig through. You're curious about the CC2? Yeah, Jano, me too. I'm pretty sure now that FormNext is going on, if Elegoo's there, I'm sure we'll start seeing stuff about it. I personally am not worried one way or the other. I still like the Centauri Carbon. I hope that the Vivid that Down Under Maker is talking about, I hope that I can acquire one at some point. Maybe after FormNext, I can speak with someone at Big Tree Tech and see if there's a way they'd be interested in sending a unit over for me to try and get working with the Centauri Carbon, the first one. See what happens, We'll have more details next week. That'll be pretty cool. Yeah, Down Under, that'll be pretty sweet. I want to know more about that myself. But the thought overall is basically I can fit 3 comfortably up there, and then I could fit 4 across the bottom. But because I have, the switch wire, and I have the little rook there, and I have a rook kit we need to finish building over here. The rooks are small enough I can find places to wedge them. But I just want to stick with one ecosystem. I still want to build printers and have, miscellaneous, things from time to time, but I'm not going to go out of my way to try and be like a build channel. There's enough of those. And I don't have that kind of money to keep buying $1,000 printer to build it on stream to maybe recoup, a third of the cost, maybe $200-300 over a series of streams to recoup any of the money. So realistically, I'm just going to keep doing what I do. I'm going to stream, have fun with you guys, hang out, we'll talk about stuff, we'll work on little projects, whether it's, you know, Meshtastic stuff, whether it's upgrades or repairs to the printers, or whether I 3D print something cool and I just want to show it off. You know, that's pretty much what this is going to be. I'll still work on printers. I'll still give away printers. But that will be as they come in. I don't have a lot of people throwing old 3D printers at me. But worst case, one evening, maybe we sit here, we stream. If everybody's in a little better financial situation, maybe we, you know, throw me some money in PayPal. We'll go on Marketplace and we'll do some you know, bartering and see if we can pick up maybe a couple of cheap enders or something off Marketplace. And then, you know, I'll take a day, go drive around, collect everything, bring it home, and then we'll spend, you know, a couple days going through them and get them cleaned up, get them printing nice, and then, you know, I'll go out and just find people and here's a printer, here's a couple rolls of filament, go to YouTube for support, have a great day, and just, you know, try and get more people back in, or get more people into the hobby. It's kind of the thought. Think about turning your closet into a 3D printing area. You can definitely do that, bud. Just make sure that, you know, you got somewhere to put your clothes. If you can store all your clothes and stuff in a in there, you could always talk to the old man about running a couple of 2x4s across the wall, and then make a little frame, and then put a shelf in there, and then you just have to see if the old man could run you an outlet in there for power to the printers. It'd be nice because then you can close the door and, you know, it'd be a little quieter for you. You'll definitely want to talk to him though about adding some kind of like an exhaust in case it gets too hot in there. You don't want that either though. So maybe have like a air intake at the bottom and then like another one up top, just so the air can flow through if you need to. Otherwise you can close vents and close it off if you're printing a higher temp material. You've heard good things though about the CC one. Yeah, Jano, I honestly, I can't say enough good about the Centauri Carbon, the first one. It for the price and for what it does, it's well worth it. And if you can get them on Marketplace in your area for around $250, buy it. You know what I mean? There are worse things you could have spent $200 on than a Centauri Carbon. And my thought is, I bought the second one from Fabrico, not because I felt like I was obligated to, but because of everything they did and the way they support the community. I wanted to support them in some way, so I bought one. So they sent me this one for free to do whatever the hell I want with. And then they had some in stock, or so the website said. But they did get their shipment in today. So my Centauri Carbon should ship out today, tomorrow, probably looking at the time, probably tomorrow, hopefully. So then maybe later this week or beginning of next week, there'll be a second one sitting here. And then, like I said, I'm going to be Facebook Marketplace every time I get a couple, you know, basically payday hits. I'll make a poor financial decision and put a third one up there. And then payday hits again, I'll put another one here, another one here, another one here. You know, just we'll get a nice little fleet of Centauri Carbons behind me. And then that'll just be my primary go-to, because the 256 squared bill volume is nice. You can print pretty much everything you need to print in that. It's an enclosed printer when you need it to be. Pop the top, open the door, whatever when you don't. Print your PLA, PETG on it real nice. Print your ABS, ASAs, TPUs really well. I've printed all that on there without any problem. So I've printed PLA, PETG, TPU, ASA, and ABS. I've printed those 5 materials. Those are the main things I print, and all of them have printed on it just fine. And now that Micro Swiss came out with the Flowtech hot end for it, just another reason to love it even more, because the Flowtech ecosystem is amazing. I love it. When I had my K1s, you guys know, when I had K1s, I got the Flowtechs on those. Every time I got a K1, I put a Flowtech on it. I had one, I got rid of it to my buddy Bruce. I got a second one, put a Flowtech on it, and then had to sell that one. I'm not going to be looking to buy and sell printers anymore. After the Magneto left, I'm not really looking to sell printers anymore. I don't want to buy things I want to get rid of. I want to buy things I want to use. So I'm going to build out a small fleet. By the way, Viking, good to see you. GTR Dad, good to see you as well. Da Vinci, good to see you, man. Thank you. Yes, smash the like button if you guys would, please. Greatly appreciate it. Helps the channel. I guess since there's a small crowd, because a lot of people are currently in Frankfurt, Germany at Formnext, and I'm not. Thanks for coming and hanging out. I understand why. There's not a lot of other streamers or content creators currently live, so there's not a lot going on tonight. So I do appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with me. For your rebuilt clipperized Anycubic bed slinger. That'll be cool, Jano. Hopefully you'll be streaming that over on your Twitch channel. So for those who don't know, Big Jano streams over on Twitch. Same name over on Twitch. So if you go to Twitch and type in the same name there, he'll come up. Go give him a follow or a sub over there. Follow. Yeah. One day you'd love to get to Formnext. Me too, good sir. Who knows? Maybe this year if I kind of hunker down a little bit more, not necessarily looking to be more family friendly. I'm still going to have my mouth and be who I am, because that part is just who I am. I'm not a family friendly guy. That's why my channel is not marked as for children, because I know my mouth and I know that occasionally an F-bomb will slip out. Or if the family comes and pops in, my daughter and my wife love the colorful language. So I'm not going to ever not be me, you know. But hopefully if I get a nice little setup going there, and maybe I get into this a little bit more, because I had a thought, and I might as well share it with you guys. But I had a thought with these things. I'm thinking maybe I'll go talk to my municipalities nearby and see, just talk to them and see, say, hey, if I can put this, you know, $50, $100 setup on top of the water tower at no cost to you guys, because it'll have a battery and a solar panel, so it wouldn't run off of their power necessarily. But if they would allow me access to power, it would be nice to have, you know, power to it as well as solar and battery, so it's got all its bases covered. Very low power draw anyway, so if it was plugged in, it's not like it's going to be a huge spike to their, you know, to their stuff. But to put those on top of the water towers in the towns near me, and explain to them some of the benefits that could be, you know, in case of power outages or cellular outages or internet outages or all of the above. This could be another way of having some form of communication with others, and it's going to be no out-of-pocket expense to them. I would build the units and put the units up there, and then it's just, I would only need access for maintenance purposes. And as long as they would be willing to do that, then I could set up basically a router node in those small, like all the towns within my county, and start there. And then people who are interested in Meshtastic in my tiny little county here would at least be able to have some kind of access to it. Michael Cassell, good to see you, man. But yeah, Jano, as for Formnext, bro, who knows? Maybe something happens and, you know, you get a company that wants to feature you at their Formnext booth. That'd be cool. I mean, I'd love it if Elegoo would pick me up, take me. Maybe if I buy enough of their products, I'll finally get on their radar. Or if I feature enough of their products on my streams, they'll like me enough to want to take me. That'd be pretty cool. I wouldn't complain. I would love to go to Formnext. I would love to go to Frankfurt, Germany, or wherever, you know, wherever. Formnext looks like it'd be fun. But Formnext talks aside, I think that I'm not sure who that is calling me right now, gang. Let me do a quick Google search of this phone number to see if it's somebody I need to take the call of. If you don't know, Google a phone number and it'll tell you. Yeah, I don't know who that is and why they would be calling me. Yep, definitely not somebody I need to talk to. Gabs Labs, Frankfurt is nice. That's awesome. I one day maybe I'll get to experience that. Be cool. But no, gang, I was gonna say, if things would work out with the municipalities in my area, or with the little villages in my area, would be kind of cool to set up some nodes on top of the water towers. Nothing super crazy, you know. You're actually learning German. That's cool, bud. Kit, good to see you, man. Good to see you. Hope you are having a good evening. But yeah, I think, basically NEMA boxes with some 10,000 milliamp hour batteries, a solar panel, um, radio with a decent antenna on top, and, seal it up good, and just mount it to one of the rails on top of a water tower should be more than sufficient. Set them up in router mode, because at that height, be silly not to. And then most of the towns I could probably hit water tower to water tower without any crazy issue. So that would be, there's a lot of flat farmland from town to town. So Havoc, good to see you, man. You didn't miss much. It's just a hangout chat stream tonight, bud. We're not, nothing, no projects, nothing crazy. More stuff with Polymaker. We'll be interested to see the no more printers for sale content. Yeah, GTR Dad would be nice. Polymaker and I don't know. I don't know. I voluntarily stepped away from the streams with Polymaker. I like I told him, I said, you guys, I don't stream enough or consistently enough to really benefit you guys. So I think, they're like, there's plenty of space. You're more than happy to keep going. And I said, at this time, because I don't have a consistent stream going, let's just go ahead, and we're not parting ways. I said, but just go ahead and take my name out of the list. And for right now, let's just go ahead and not part ways, but let's just, pause that for now. And, they were like, yeah, we understand completely. And anytime you want to come back, just let us know. So, I mean, if the streams pick up again and they get going, and I can get some, more consistency going there, then yeah, I will talk with Polymaker and see if they can put me back on the list, and we'll get back into doing some filament giveaways. But yeah, like I said, I mean, I know you guys are getting annoyed hearing the I'm always hurting for money and stuff's always for sale crap, and I'm not trying to I'm not trying to be like a charity case stream. I mean, if you guys can give. If you can't, you can't. If you want to support me, there's many different ways. Linktree has a bunch of links to different stuff, from the Amazon wish list, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. And then, of course, here on YouTube, you can always become a member if you wanted to, or you can gift memberships. There's super chats or super stickers. There's all kinds of ways for you guys to support me when you can support me. Right now, if you want to support me, consider going over and helping Maker Viking get to his $500 stretch goal for Tinker Atlas. So go over to tinkeratlas.com, click the donate link over on the right-hand side, and give him some money, help him grow and expand Tinker Atlas. If you've done that and you still want to give to me, there's many ways. I tell you guys all the time how to do it. So if you want to, feel free. I'm not going to complain. But I think right now what Viking's working on with Tinker Atlas is pretty awesome. And I think if you can give to him, help him out. 3D Medic Vince, you beautiful human being, you. How are you? Hope you're doing well, good sir. But as for projects and things I've got going on, what's being done, at some point we'll play around more with this guy right here, the lab racks. Once I get some things worked out, we get a couple more printers in here, I'll start building out a second lab racks. I've got enough small boards and stuff floating around. Hey, not a problem, Viking brother. I love you, man, and I support you no matter what. And I want to see Tinker Atlas grow into something, bigger and crazier than where it's already at. So If you guys can help, or if anybody can help you, I want them to help you. But I got enough SBCs and stuff. I mean, I can reach over on my desk right now. I have enough SBCs. I got enough of these little guys to build out at least one more of those. So we'll build out another one. I even missed the Raspberry Pi sitting over here. There's another Raspberry Pi. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Seven small SBCs sitting right there. So more than enough. I can build out a second lab racks. Just if nothing else, they make a cool shelf piece, and it gives me somewhere safe to store the SBCs. And if I'm not using them, at least it looks cool in the background. You know what I mean? And they're 3D printed. So ideally, I want to get this one up here running because I would love to have that one to take with me to places. Currently, it has 3 Raspberry Pi 5s and an Orange Pi in it. I'll probably stick the other Orange Pi back in there. So I'll have the 2 Orange Pis and 2 Raspberry Pi 5s because I may or may not have something coming that I want to stick a Raspberry Pi 5 into. Build something out, you know. Can build some Vorons. Yeah, I definitely could build a small Voron that might be coming, maybe. I don't want to put the cart in front of the horse, but there may be a printer in the Voron family coming. And if so, we're definitely going to be talking about who sent it, why they sent it, and where you can go to get awesome stuff. Yes, we can. Yes, we will. Build an MCU for the CC. Yeah, I think it would be kind of cool to, if I acquire enough of the Centauri carbons, I think it might be cool to see if we were to replace DeWitt. What's going on, Tim? Good to see you, brother. Hope you're doing well. What the heck is lab racks? I'm so behind on the latest technology. I can grab it and show you. Give me just a second, though. I was saying something. DeWitt came in. Oh, the MCU for the Centauri Carbon. I think it'd be kind of cool to see if, with the Centauri Carbon chassis, if maybe we added a M4 or an M5, M5P or an M4P to a Centauri Carbon, and then maybe talk to Big Tree Tech and see if they'd be interested in sponsoring that, and maybe the new CAN bus board, and then redoing the tool head with Big Tree Tech's CAN bus board and one of their control boards, and then flashing full-blown clipper to it. And you know, I don't know how that screen that's on those would connect to it, but if there's a way to get that screen that's on there that comes installed to work with the Big Tree Tech stuff, that could be cool too. And then just basically have the printer but with Big Tree Tech guts in it, and just, and you know, again, instead of having, you know, the Centauri Carbons the Centauri Carbons tool board, I don't know what it would take to convert their tool board over to a Big Tree Tech thing. So kind of go through that rabbit hole of maybe seeing what needs to be replaced versus what could continue to work, to convert it to a better control board with full-blown clipper, and then see, you know, just to see. So the thought is, get a couple of Centauri Carbons. I don't want to do this with machines that I want to use and have functioning, but if I should happen to come across, maybe somebody's got a Centauri Carbon that they're selling on Marketplace and they're like, it's dead, it doesn't run, I don't know what's wrong with it. And, you know, I'll say, does it power on? And where doesn't it work? If it powers on, the motors are good, but, you know, something wrong with the stepper board or with the control board or whatever, we can just start swapping those parts out, putting different stuff in it, and seeing what needs to be replaced to make it a functional printer. And then this way, that would give people some kind of a upgrade path, or not necessarily an upgrade path, but a, yeah, an upgrade path for a Centauri Carbon, and kind of go that route. Yay, kid free for 11 hours. Nice, Down Under Maker. Hey, man, you got to run, help with groceries. See you next time. Tell Aunt Sammy and Lulu hi for me. Will do, bud. Will do. You have fun. Get them groceries put away. Be good. Don't piss off mom and dad. You know, hopefully your sister doesn't pick on you too bad. But tell the family we love them, and I hope you guys have a good night. But do it. Let me go grab the lab racks so I can show you what it is. Lab racks is actually just the 3D printed case here. It's nothing more than this guy. Let me pause my camera so it quits jumping around. There we go. Let me take the keyboard and mouse off the top, because it's not required for a keyboard and mouse. It's not required for a screen, but it's just a 10-inch little 3D printable rack by a guy named Michael Clements over on Maker World. These are just some of the components you can put in there. This piece here, I got to double check and see. I don't remember if I uploaded this to printables or not, but Big Tree Tech sent me this screen for the purposes of making this. So I remixed a couple of files and came up with this. And then I took this file here and remixed it and made the slot in the sides so you can fish USB cables or Ethernet cables or whatever through. And then that Netgear switch that's down there, that one already existed. I just found it, downloaded it, printed it. But it's just a little 10-inch rack. And yeah, LTX printed the panels for me. Or not printed, but cut the panels for me. So these panels were all cut by LTX. And then there is a top panel that I still need to trim down. I keep talking about it, but I need to trim down the top panel that has a fan slot in it. And then on the back here, I keep talking about wanting to get a 10-inch display to put back here. So I'd have to design like a 3 or a 4U one for a 10-inch panel. Like I put a 10-inch panel on the back and connect that to one of the pies, and then have, you know, another pie on the front with a little 5-inch HDMI display on it. So, but that is the lab racks right there. Let me get this to focus back in on me so when I sit down, you can actually see what the heck I'm talking about. But there it is. Just a little 10-inch rack. So good for programming pies and such. Yep. My thought for it, Tim, is I want to get the PoE hats for the pies, and then that's a PoE switch. So I can just run Ethernet to those, power the switch, and I'm done. And then if I go to an event or a venue where they have like connections, I can plug in and have internet, and then have internet and power to all the pies. And then, of course, whichever pie the screen's plugged into would power off the PoE as well. And so that's my thought, is if I can get some pie hats. Silly little shout out, but I do have the Raspberry Pi 5 hats in my wish list. So if anybody was feeling generous, feel free to go to my wish list and send me the pie hats. But anyway, no, so it would be cool, because then I could just make some custom little patch panels or patch cables to go from each one down. Currently, though, like I said, there's only 3 Raspberry Pi 5s in there. Probably going to steal one of the Raspberry Pi 5s out of there to stick it in a build coming. Sadly, they don't make, or I haven't found, an Orange Pi PoE hat. But if anybody knows of an Orange Pi 3B, this is the Orange Pi 3B v2.1. If anybody knows of a PoE hat for these, I don't think these ports are PoE capable. So I'd have to get one of those USB, the USB Ethernet adapter that has the PoE in there. So you basically plug it in, boom. You still want this camera? Yeah, the OBSBot. It's the OBSBot Tiny 2 Lite. I just have the light. I think it's like 150, or so it's like $150-ish over on Amazon. I can get the I can get you a link if anybody wants. If anybody's thinking about getting anything off of Amazon, let me know if you'd like during the stream. I can always go grab you an affiliate link and send it to you. And then that gives me a little kickback for the affiliate sale. It's greatly appreciated. It doesn't cost you any more. But if you're just in a hurry and you want to click and buy, completely understand. But yeah, I do like my little OBSBot camera here. But yeah, so the plan though is, Tim, sorry, I kind of squirreled off. But the plan is to get this thing set up so that this little display on the front here, I can have a Raspberry Pi set up and then play different videos and stuff when I go to conventions and whatnot. Have that sitting on a table playing stuff. One of the Raspberry Pis would act as like a desktop alternative, so I wouldn't necessarily have to have a big laptop up on the table too, taking up more space. I could just put a 10-inch display in the back, keyboard, mouse, and then use one of the Raspberry Pis for like web surfing or whatever I want to do. And then as for the other two, one could be acting as kind of like a router at the table, take the internet in through the Ethernet, and then go into there and have that internet that way if possible. And then have the wireless on it rebroadcast as my home Wi-Fi, so that any printers that I would bring would just auto connect and I would be able to access them. And then the fourth device, who knows? You know, it's in there. If nothing else, it's just in there to show off. You bought some ESP32s and Pi Zeros so that you could try some stuff. Nice. Oh, to try some stuff. Yeah. Hey, I got you, man. Well, hopefully whatever you're working on, it turns out cool. The only difference between the light and the full fat is the number of silly AI models and the microphone you don't use anyway. Yeah. So, I mean, the light's been working great for me. It's been a good little camera. It follows me around when I need it to. If I go like this, it'll zoom in on my face, track my face. And then if I wanted to, I could zoom back out by doing the same thing. And then if I really want to, I can go like this. And then, let's see. There we go. See? And then I can control the zoom in and out this way. And then if I want to stop it, I can go like this. I think it's like this. Let me see. No, it's not doing it. Maybe it was this. I'm trying to remember, but there's a way to stop the tracking with, there we go. Just do this. And then now it'll stop tracking me. And then if I put my hand back up like this again, there we go. Light turns blue, and now it's back to tracking. So it's a cool little camera. I like having that. And then when I get up to walk around the garage, you guys aren't staring at my butt. It's looking at the back of my head instead. So it's a little bit nicer for you. Plus, when I go back there and I zoom, see, watch. I'll show you. If I get up and come back here, and then I go like this, see, look, can I get in closer? Nope, it goes back out. So this is it, but at least this way, it's better. You know what I mean? You know, I'm not so far away from you. You can kind of see me a little bit better, and then I can, boop, and then I can come back. So you guys can see, and the camera's view, I mean, when I'm standing here, I mean, look at like, I told you guys my office is 9 foot wide. So here I am touching the wall between the filament. There you go. So my office is only 9 foot wide, but it's nice because when I'm standing way back here and it's all the way out, you can see a good chunk of the space. And if I come down, you can see the mess underneath here that I usually hide from you guys, or try to. So, yeah. Do you have the OBSBot plugin for Stream Deck? Yes, I do. No more need to use the app, which sucks. Yes, all I got to do is, like, if I wanted to, I can hit the Stream Deck and lock it. I can hit 50 plus. I set up a 50 plus. Zoom back out. And then if for some reason, like, I can turn HDR off. So, you know, no HDR now. And oh, sorry, HDR is on now. Sorry, there we go. So there's HDR, and then there's HDR off. Give it a minute to readjust, but there you go. Either way, I guess we'll turn HDR back on. Then you guys will get a nice tan version of Dan and kind of readjust for the lighting. You had to set up the pan, tilt, zoom, max range so it didn't follow you through the secret beta stuff. Yeah, no, down under maker, you definitely want to do that. I don't have that part set up, but like, see, here's the sloppy pile next to me, guys. here's all the crap sitting next to me. And then here's the other side's getting kind of the same. I need to clean this out because it is just too much for me. Here, there we go. But it's getting to be too much in here. You know what I mean? Like there's tidier than your desk. Yeah. Yeah, well, you know, myself personally, I want to build off this end and come out a little bit so that this way, when I do want to work on something, I can actually go sit back kind of behind there and have a nice space to work. And then when I'm done, if I want to come talk to you guys, I don't have to move everything or it's not in the way, and that'll be my kind of like my workspace behind me there. And what I'd like to do is get like a stone, like a smooth stone countertop to put on this piece so that when we're like, whenever I do something, maybe if I'm building out and I want to flatten a frame, make sure the frame pieces are all nice and flattened together. There you go. Really need to get organized. Yeah, I think one of these days, one of the streams is going to be a, like I said, clean out the garage, get stuff kind of organized, and then I'll, you know, put together some of the flat rate shipping boxes, and then I'll just, you know, I'll start throwing shit in flat rate boxes and then say, cover the shipping, tell me which box you want, and I'll put your name on it, take it to the post office. You send me the shipping, I pay the shipping, off it goes, we're done. And then you guys can just have random boxes of things that are taking up space in the garage that I no longer really need or want. And then I want to kind of better organize under here with some kind of like a organization, some shelving units or something I can slide in and then put like cables, connectors, motors, control boards, stuff like that. Basically fill in the space under here. Projects in Dad's Garage, what's going on, good sir? How you doing? You go to Home Depot and ask, they usually have stacks of custom countertops. Yeah, I'll have to check that out, Da Vinci, because like I said, I'm not going to need a very big piece. I'm only going to need a piece that's, you know, here. My thought is if I actually kind of clean up like this space right here along the wall where the filament's at, I'd like to come out to about here. So from here to here, I could get a nice piece of just like a nice stone countertop and then have it be probably about this deep so that I can still, you know, when I'm sitting in the chair here, I won't necessarily smack it with the chair, you know? So it would be about this wide, about this big. So I'd have a space, you know, nice space about here where if I do want to do a custom build or something, I could still kind of come behind, stand here and work. You guys could see me. I could do one of these, you know, and then you guys could kind of see me while I'm working. And then from the ceiling, I could always drop down and have a camera just like right over the top of it here where you guys would be able to kind of see better overhead. And then I could always still have like another camera on the side here that would look in at the project. So have 3 camera angles. Then the only thing I would have to do is, oh, I found the hole in my yard or my garage here. Yeah, there's a bunch of holes in my concrete floor. They're not holes so much. Speaking of, you know, doing things in a custom build, there's the pathetic Puma. Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Hey, Puma, that thing we talked about, could I talk about it? I mean, I'm just curious if I can talk about it because I haven't outright said anything yet, but I'm just curious if I can talk about it. Feel free. Okay. Well, Puma, what's the site name again? I was just on it the other day, and for some reason my mind has been overwhelmed. So forgiveness is easier than permission. Yes, it is down under Maker, but at the same time, if nothing's on its way, you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot. You know what I mean? You don't want to shoot yourself in the foot, because if it ain't in the mail, it ain't there. Oh yes, that's right. Let me do this real quick. I'll bring up the site. So, focal point engraving. Pathetic Puma is involved with, like, focal point engraving. And that being said, let me grab the link here. Copy. Paste. There we go. If you go check out the site, and by go check out the site, I mean I'm going to do it right now anyway. But here's focal point engraving. They do custom 3D printed parts. You can get, like, again, promotional and gifts, engraving services, and all the products. Some of you guys will remember back in the day there was a gentleman who was selling laser engraved frames. Well, focal point engraving does laser etched frames. And Pathetic Puma said, hey, I think I have some frames laying around. Would you like one of these? And I said, sure. So we were talking, and there was some options. I probably should have went with the Micron, because I think more people would have found that one interesting. But because my wife and I were talking, and I let the missus pick, he may happen to have a frame in a color that is enticing to females. And he may have been like, hey, I can send you that. And it's so a Voron V0. I'll say V0 because originally it was a V0.1, but he's going to do some stuff and it'll end up being a V0.2 when it gets to me. Now, the one thing I was going to ask, since you're here, Puma, have you started anything with that yet? Have you started doing any of the etching or anything for the frame? So, oh, by the way, guys, he's going to custom etch the frame. Should have had him do the NG frame. Yeah, you should have projects in Dad's garage. But yeah, so anybody who's interested, it won't do you any good. But if you tell him, like if you go to the site, in your notes here, leave a note that says, MakerMind Nexus sent me. Just lets him know that, you guys are there because of me and my pushing this out there for him. So it helps him out, and he at least knows that, everything that we're doing is worth it. So if you do get something done, please just mention that in the notes. Say, MakerMind Nexus sent me. Just helps him out. Lets him track where things are coming from. You know what I mean? Hoping to get the settings worked out tonight with the test pieces. Okay, because I was going to say, I know we talked about this one right here. I don't know what you guys think, but I kind of liked this pattern. It's on this frame as well. But like this was looking pretty cool. And of course, the Voron, the Voron everywhere is pretty cool. And then let's see here. If it's not a pain in the ass to switch, I did also like the way a lot of these looked, but maybe since there's more folks here, we can kind of see what everybody thinks. If you're okay with that, I don't know. You'll make me your own special pattern. It doesn't have to be one of the demos. True. I mean, what do you guys think if instead of like with the little Voron logos everywhere, do you think a bunch of MMNs all over it would be kind of cool? What do you think? Or do you guys remember back when I did when I did the bear frame? Do you guys remember that? And I had the gears all over it. I don't know. I'm kind of wondering. Circuit board pattern was neat. I like that one. You know what I mean? The traces pattern. I like that one. Garage crew. Yeah. Projects Dad's Garage. I'm sure he could, man. Like, just get him the file. I think you just need an SVG, right? Puma, you just need an SVG file of whatever the logo would be, and you could kind of do that. Because I think if that's the case, I could always shoot you a SVG of my MMN logo, just the MMN, and then SVG, PNG, or DXF. Okay. And we try to make anything work? Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. Since you and I have been chatting on Discord, I'll send you the MMN logo in an SVG. You can take a look at it, see how it looks. If you think it would look cool, kind of, all over the frame, kind of give it a shot, see what you think. If it does, we'll just do the MMN all over that frame. But yeah. So yeah, there you go. Might send a frame when it is CNC bedtime. Oh, when you change out the bed. Yeah, that way you can just break down the frame, ship it off, have them etch everything, and then ship it back and put it back together with the cool. That would be cool, man. But like I said, this is the thing like the nerds and us all want is like our own custom touch. I think with the MMN kind of staggered all over it like this, something like this, but with the MMN all over would be kind of cool. I know the only thing I would think is like on the Z frame parts going up and down, it would look cool. And then going across, you'd probably want to turn it so it's this MMN across. I don't know, I would think that would be kind of the thought. I will tell you guys that the color that I picked or that he had available that I am getting, there is not a top hat for the V2, the V 0.2. He doesn't have the top hat for that. So the top hat will be a different color, but based on the color scheme, the top hat will blend in nicely with the rest of it. It'll work out real well because of the printed parts color scheme. I will have to order some material so I can start printing the parts, and having a couple of these to print parts with will be nice, because then I can load one color on one machine, one color on the other machine, and then the third machine can print other parts that kind of go with too. Just follow the frame, Dan. It will look odd if you swap directions 90 degrees. No, what I'm saying though is like down under Maker, like if the MMN logo is kind of going this way, readable across the X and Y frame parts, just turn it so it's readable. Kim, good to see you, dear. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having fun. It is good to see you. Let me jump back to here now. But if you guys are looking for anything, please check out Focal Point Engraving. Not only because Puma's hooking me up with a Voron frame that is going to be etched, and just know that the frame that's coming, it's not a full kit. All right, it's just Puma's putting together the parts that Puma has available with some additional things that he was planning on doing for it, and then decided life is too much, send it to Dan, he can have some fun with it, build it out, and then it will reside in the garage here, and it will kind of be my little guy that once it's built, it'll hang out for a while, it'll be awesome, and then I'll probably take it. I probably won't, it'll probably stay here, because what will probably end up happening is at some point I'll finish building this guy and then take that to work. I don't know why every time I just point, I don't have the thumb out. Quit going. Pick up some 300, 350, 400 Maker Beam for the 4 uprights, and do a box, and box zero it. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna do the I'm just going to do with what he's got for the frame, and we're going to make the 0.2. Maybe sometime later down the road, we can upgrade it to that kit. That'd be cool. Or who knows, maybe after a while, if it takes off and it does good and he sees investment on his return and I have fun doing this, maybe, we do another project together. Who knows? It's always a experiment when you work with me. But no, I do plan to, when he's got everything done and finalized, I do plan to kind of focus on that. Like I said, I've got to order some material. I'm going to have to get some ASA. I'm going to do probably ASA parts, so I'll have to get some colors of ASA ordered. I guess without giving away too much, but giving away something, I need to order some white, a purple, and a pink. So I need to order some white, some purple, and some pink ASA. Puma, what do you think? Should I just tell them? Should I just tell them? You could just, oh wait. Those uprights for the top hat color. Then the original uprights could be used for the top hat. Yeah. I think Puma, what do you think? Should we just tell them the frame color currently? Should we just? Ambrosia Midnight Meteorite for the purple. I do like that color. I think that would be cool. I'll just let the cat out of the bag. Okay. He's got a bubblegum pink frame. So, but he doesn't have, again, it was originally a V0.1. So it has the printed top hat, not the metal frame top hat. But he was able to acquire some white. He's able to acquire some white for the top hat. So the top hat will be white. The base frame would be the bubblegum pink. So it'll be pink with a white top hat. And I would print the parts for the main printer in the purple and white. And then I would just get the pink for the top hat. And I would do probably the pink and the purple on the top hat. And then do the white and the purple on the frame on the main piece. That way the white, pink, and purple all kind of flows together across the whole thing. But because I let my wife pick, I was gonna go with the Micron. I'm not gonna lie, because I think a Micron would be cool. So I was gonna go with the Micron, but my loving wife liked the idea of a pink printer. She said it would make me very manly. That's what I told Puma. My wife says if I want to prove how manly I am, I need to get the pink printer. So I picked the pink printer because my wife says it'll make me manly. So that's what we're doing. Let me get caught up on this real quick here. Is it an old Texas vendor frame? I don't know. I don't know where Puma got it from. Oh, the fluorescent pink ABS is pretty similar to the pink frame. Okay, so I'd have to look at Sparta 3D. Okay. Well, Puma, when I get to the point where I'm ready to order filaments, I will hit you up and we can you can tell me, since you have the frame and you can see it, you'll know best. But I do like the Midnight Meteorite, will be cool. And as for oh, give me a second. My daughter asked me what I'm doing. I'm just telling her I'm streaming. There we go. So, but yeah, you'll kind of know best when it comes to like the pink, the purple, and obviously white. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, just a white, you know. So I figured across the bottom I would do the skirts in white with purple legs and all that good stuff, and then on top we'll just do the parts in pink and the pink and purple parts up top, and then the white and purple parts on the bottom. It was gifted to you. You believe it was an old DFH? Okay. Yeah. The V0 is more reliable. Yeah, that's kind of my thought too when it came down to it, was the Micron would be more fun, but it's going to be more work in the end, and the V0 is just a, you know, you set it up, you go, you print, and it's just going to work. It'll be a great little printer for little parts, and it'll look cool, and it'll help when people are like, what's that pink printer? And I say, oh, I got it from Pathetic Puma. There we go. Anyway, I got it from Pathetic Puma. It's, focalpointengraving.net. Go check them out. My brain got going more than my mouth. So apologies, guys. That Midnight Meteorite goes great with it. Okay. So yeah, so we'll be looking at probably the Midnight Meteorite, and then the Sparta Fluorescent Pink. And then as for white, I can call you Troy. Yeah, I've always called you Pathetic Puma. I don't think I've ever asked, but Troy. I'm like, I got it from Troy at focalpointengraving.net. There we go. So if you need anything, gang, go to the focalpointengraving.net website and make sure you tell Troy that Dan from MakerMind Nexus is the reason you're there. It lets him know that my big mouth is the reason you saw him, and that's why you went there. So just say hi to Troy. I just grabbed a printed part, and the Sparta Pink is way off. Okay. Well, if nothing else, like I said, I've got time, and we can always, if nothing else, maybe I'll stick a poll up on the in the community tab. I'll stick up a poll with like, here's your purple options, here's your pink options, and then white. It'll be white. I don't know if anybody finds an interesting white that's going to work, let me know, but white is white, so just a white ASA or ABS, and then, I'll go with, whatever else I can find, or whatever people kind of agree on. Do I have motors for it? I believe Troy said he's got the AB motors, so I'll still probably need the Z motor, and then I do have around here somewhere, I do have an LDO, I do have one of the LDO motors with the actual runout switch on it. Yeah, actually I've got the, where did it go? Somewhere around here. This is why I got to clean, because somewhere around here I actually have, Jason sent me in the Christmas, last year's Christmas, he sent me out a box, and it had the orbiter. So I have an orbiter with the runout sensor on it. So I do have an orbiter extruder I can throw on it, unless I want to go a lightweight tool head and do a Bowden setup, which is usually what people say to do on those little guys. So you have a full Z motor set you picked up in a garage clearance? Really? Jack, what's going on, man? Good to see you. But you do have the parts for the belted Z. Oh, that's right, because he's got the parts to do the belted Z. So instead of having the lead screw for the Z, it'll be a belted Z. So that'll be cool. Oh, you have all motors except for the lead screw Z motor. That's right. So, okay. So Troy has all the motors. So scratch that down under. Thank you, though. But Troy says he's got all the motors and a belted Z. So it'll have a belted Z. He's got all the motors. And then I just need to, well, really, the belted Z. Yeah, it should have a lot of the parts. I do have, I'll probably rob from Peter back here. It's got a Pico board on there now currently, and it can work with other boards. So I'll probably steal the Pico board off of this and then flash. I'll get it flashed and ready. And then that's what I was talking about earlier when I said I was going to steal one of the Pi 5s out of this. So I'll probably steal one of the Pi 5s out of here, get Clipper installed on it, get it ready to go. We'll get the board flashed with the firmware on there. And then I can kind of, have that stuff ready to go so that when it gets here, we can just build it out, put everything together, pull all the files in, and then, have some fun. So that'll be whenever it gets here. No rush, Troy. Whenever you send it, you send it. Speaking of, though, let me see something here real quick. Let me click on this. Let's go to upload file. I'm going to send you, I got to double check. I think oh, my Discord is being stubborn. Let me see if this is, I can't remember which SVG file. I don't know if that's the one I need to send you. Hold on. Let me look here real quick. Maker by Nexus. That's not that. Let's go. Trying to find exactly what I'm looking for. Documents. Where the hell did I? Oh, I think it's in pictures. Yeah. Maker by Nexus. Now, let me look at this SVG file real quick and make sure that's the one I need to send you. So yeah, if anybody's got linear rails for the V0, message me on the Discords, X, wherever. Message me and let me know if you've got them. And then I can tell you I want just the logo without, oh, that's the whole thing. If I send you the SVG with all the logos on it, are you able to extract just the parts you need? Let's see. Because I can send you the full optional SVG file that I have. Yeah? All right, I'll just send you the full SVG file that I have that has all the different logos with all the different colors on it. So give me just a moment here to make sure logos L SVG. That's the one I want to send you. All right, give me a second here to make sure I send you the right one. Let's delete that. Let's click here because there is a full blacked out logo on there, and obviously the Maker My Nexus text at the bottom wouldn't be necessary, just the MMN, because yeah, and it's all blacked out, so that'll be probably easier for you to use for the etching. Should be this guy. I will send it to you right now. Open and full logo SVG send. There you go. It came up all goofy. Go figure. Well, I'm sure you'll just download it and be able to do what you got to do. Phyllis Struder still has the LDO SS NG7 rails on sale for $8.99 each. You may have a few, but they're a mix of different brands working on, modifying the Mad Max. Ah, okay. Your ISP is rerouting things to make them more resilient to the Cloudflare issues. Yeah, Cloudflare was definitely a thorn in my ass today. For those who don't know, Cloudflare had a huge outage today across the world. And some of the websites that the school uses for its web-based stuff was not functioning. So, of course, since, it's internet, I should be able to just fix it, even though people kind of forget that once it leaves the school, it's not my problem. So, yeah, Cloudflare, oof, yeah. Michael Cassell, by the way, good to see you, man. Hope you are feeling a bit better today. Yet another Tri-Zero mixed features from the Tri-Zero, Pandora's Box, and the Hex Zero. Yeah, the Pandora's Box that I had is with Havoc. So Havoc has the Pandora's Box that I had. Um, I still am excited because just a regular V0 is going to be fun. I know a lot of my friends have said the V0 is a pain in the ass because of the smaller frame and the smaller parts, but I don't care. I just build it once, complain about it once, and then just have it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Lodge a complaint because his screen said blocked. Yep. Oh yeah. It's funny. It is definitely funny. Making a mess leveling your CNC bed. Well, fingers crossed, man. Hopefully you get it all squared away. You know. My daughter is definitely bored. She's still texting me. I told her I was streaming, and she goes, "Okay, good. How was your day?" um, well, excuse me, gents. Dust collection is struggling. Oof. Build it with one of the Annex style clips so that you don't have to preload so many. Oh yeah, the stick in and twist clips or the snap ones. I know Fizzy Tech's got some clips and stuff too. I don't know if he's got stuff for the V0, but I know he does for like the bigger Vorons. I'll have to go look. But yeah, the Annex engineering stuff is pretty good, and it does make it a whole lot easier. I I've had like staff and students that use my office as their break room. Um, there's one student, she came and hid out in my office today for lunch because she didn't want to have lunch with her fellow classmates. So she came and hung out in my office for lunch today. I have a couple staff members that come and eat lunch in my office during their lunch times. I don't really care. My assistant is not used to that, but I told him I'm not your average tech guy that likes to, hunker down and hermit away in his office and not talk. I'm kind of a social guy, as you have all noticed. So when I sit in my office, if there's stuff going on, I can usually work and carry on a conversation, or at least nod my head. Just at least nod my head. So, but Troy, if you with the Maker My Nexus logo, if you can find something cool to kind of like mix in there with it that would look cool, I mean, let me know. You are the frame etching guy. So if you think of something or find something, or even like the traces, like do like the mix the traces in the Maker My Nexus logos. That would be if you can do that, be kind of cool. I think. Um, I am a fan of the traces. Maybe in some blank spaces in the traces, squeeze some MMNs in there or something. I don't know. Just talking out loud. That traces thing, I love it. For some reason, I love that pattern or design. But you are the man, so you work your magic. You let me know what you can do. I am in no way, shape, or form gonna, you set it up. You say, what do you think? I'll say yes because you're the man. But should I Troy, were you able to, the panel color that we talked about, are you able to get that still? I mean, it would be cool if you can do that. And like I said, if you're able to get that, if you were able to get that panel color, if you know you can get that panel color, oh yeah, should I'll tell you guys too the panel color. So you're going to do the white ACM for the bottom and the back, right? You're going to do the white ACM for those. And then for the side panels, a like a clear pink panel. So it'll have pink panels all around. And then, I mean, unless, because like, as far as I know, ACM really, the standards are like white, black. There's no like colored ACMs, right? It would be kind of like a, I shouldn't say not that there's no colored ACMs, but not like a standard thing that would be easier to get. Because, I mean, if we're going to do white as an accent color, then it would just make sense to, or in my head, it would make sense to do white, black, gray are all your plastic suppliers sell. Okay, so then yeah, let's just do, we'll do the white for the bottom and the back, and then pink for the sides, and if you can do the top hat parts in pink as well, do everything else in pink, and then do those in white. I think that would be pretty awesome, right guys? Since we're going to do white as an accent color anyway. If anybody has other thoughts, please let me know. I mean, there's always the option of like sanding and hitting it with a rattle can to try and get close, but then it would just, you know, if it doesn't match, it would look really out of place, I would think. This became like a brainstorming stream, so look at that. Didn't really have a plan. Apologies for Stream Elements bot, they're going crazy, but yeah, I do have some referral links in there, guys. So if you do want to get some stuff, occasionally the referral links will pop up in chat. If they're too annoying, just let me know. Probably just have to, I think after about 5 chats, they've been popping up. No, I guess it is timed. Okay. But I don't know if my wife is going next door to talk to the neighbor because it's almost 6 o'clock and I haven't heard anything from her. I don't know if my buddy Sean is still floating around, but Sean, if you're still in here, I have found 3 nodes near me. Let me click here. My filter by is not showing off or showing up. There we go. I was on the wrong thing. There we go. Let's hide. There we go. Okay, so I have three nodes in total. 2 nodes are new nodes that popped up in the last 2 days, driving back and forth to work, and then of course my node itself. So, but yeah, so that's kind of like big project that'll be like a big little project that'll be coming up. We'll be building that out and having some fun. You guys will get to watch me go back to building a printer. And then, like I said, Centauri number 2 should hopefully be here this week. And then I'll Facebook Marketplace a couple of secondhand Centauris as I can, as funds allow. And if anybody wants to help fund that craziness, feel free. You guys know where the link is located at. Made jambalaya for dinner. Jambalaya is delicious. The Addams family and their jambalaya. Yeah, the Addams family takes care of us at Murph. Jambalaya every time. Where's the Magneto? I talked about that earlier. Projects in Dad's garage. The Magneto is gone. I sold the Magneto to a gentleman. He came and picked it up, and then I added two other printers in for him to get them out of here. So the price he paid for the Magneto was way less than what they're going for. But the Magneto is now in a new home with 3 other Magnetos. This guy is a Magneto nut. He has 4 Magneto printers. So my Magneto did not go somewhere where it is going to be lost and forgotten. It went to someone who is very much a guy that wants the Magnetos, knows the Magnetos, and knows how to take care of them. So yeah, the Magneto did not go to a bad home, guys. The gentleman who came to get that showed me a project that he is working on, and this is for himself. All right, the job that he is in, he does things, and he's a smart kid. Like I say kid because he's younger than me. He's a smart kid, and he got his shit together, and he took a I gotta stop that. But he took a like a rolling tool table or tool cart, and he's got a Magneto on it, and he's got a giant robotic arm. That's all I can tell you right now, and it's mounted to the cart. That's all I can tell you. I don't want to tell you anymore because I don't know how much more he would want me to tell. But yeah. Hoping to get Magneto to play with eventually. Yeah, Viking, keep your ears open, man. Keep talking to the gang. The Magneto was fun, but I just didn't really use it or get into it as much as I thought I would. And rather than seeing it sitting here wilting away to nothing, this guy is like, dude, I've already got 2 Magnetos, and in the week and a half, 2 weeks that he and I went back and forth on Marketplace just talking, he went from 2 Magnetos to the day before he picked up my Magneto, he had went and picked up another Magneto, and then the next day came and picked up my Magneto. He drove 2 hours to come get it, and then 2 hours back home. And yeah, I gave him all the stuff I had, the 2 build plates, all the panels, the Magneto itself with the top hat, and the toolkit that I had with it. And if at some point Vin ever sends me the upgrade kit from V1 to V2 upgrade kit, then I told him I would let him know, and I can either ship it to him, or if I'm going his way or he's coming my way, we can just meet up, and he can get the kit from me. So otherwise, I think he might reach out to Vin and just let him know he's got it now, and then Vin can just send him the kit. However that works out. But he has been talking with Vin at Pio Poly for a while as well. Obviously, he's got more Magnetos than anyone else currently. So, yeah. More of a Magneto nut than Uncle Jesse. Yep. Magneto the character, not Magneto the printer, but yes. Many printers, you want one of them. Yes, I understand, good sir. And trust me, it was a fun printer. I enjoyed it, but it just was not something that I was... how do I say this nicely? When it comes to printers, I just want, take it out of the box, plug it in, turn it on, and it to work. I still want to be able to kind of build and tinker and have fun that way. But something like that was just too big, too bulky to constantly be in and out of and messing with and doing stuff. So like I said, I'm going to build out a little ecosystem here, a nice little, since I like the Centauri Carbon and it's in my budget, I'm going to buy more of those, have an ecosystem of Centauri Carbons. I'll have a couple of, printers that are my toys to play around with. So, again, we'll have the 2 Rook 2020s, we'll have the Switchwire, 2 Rook 2020s, the Switchwire, and we'll have the V0. Depending on how things go with the V0 project, we'll see where we go from there. But, that printer was a science experiment. Yes, it was a cool science experiment. it's just, like I said, for me anymore, there's enough guys like Projects in Dad's Garage that are building and tinkering and playing with crazy custom printers. If that's what everybody's looking for, make sure you go subscribe to Projects in Dad's Garage. He's always doing something with like the Tridents and all the other printers that he's got in his garage. He's always doing something with them. So go over there if you don't know who he is. Go over there, show him some love, and give him a sub. But he's been playing around with a lot of different things. So go there. Me, it's just going to be this big mouth of mine talking. We'll have a small fleet of Centauri Carbons behind me, and then my little toys that we can easily take, play around with, do stuff, and then they'll be here for whatever the purpose is. So, but yeah, I more or less have been enjoying not kind of pigeonholing myself into one category. So like the other day when we were playing around with these, I enjoy being able to do that and not feeling like, I was not doing what you guys were here for. Because again, I want Maker Mind Nexus to be just that. It's just a place for like weird projects where we can, do stuff, play, have fun, Currently trying to fix the heater for the garage. See? But Projects in Dad's Garage isn't only a custom printer channel. He does all kinds of things in there as well. But if you're looking for the crazy printer builds, crazy printer repairs, things like that, he's going to be the guy that's going to do that more than me. There's other guys out there like Canuck Creator, who's always building and repairing and working on printers. There's enough guys out there that are doing that. I don't want to pigeonhole myself into the same thing. So, if we want to build a lab Rex, maybe I print a bunch of parts and then one day we sit here and build a lab Rex. Maybe another day, like I said, I'm hoping that when I get my YouTube monies to order a couple more of these, maybe we build out, one into this, print some parts, build up a couple, and then have like a small little group of them set up to play around with and do stuff with. Maybe that sparks it enough that I actually do reach out to my local municipalities, talk to the counties and whatnot, and see if there's locations where they would allow me access to put up some units. And then we can build out the units here. You guys can watch me build them out on stream. And then not necessarily go live while I'm installing them, because I don't want to be trying to go live and climbing up stuff. But, maybe I can put together like little clips of, setting up another node, and then have little content for the channel based around this. And then maybe while I'm making one of these, I can, put together little clips and make a nice little short or something, and help bring some more content to the channel and get people's eyes on more than one thing. Because I know a lot of you have either heard of or thought about getting into Meshtastic, and after watching me play with this, some of you have been more intrigued to want to check it out. So yeah, it's cool. My buddy Sean sent it to me, and I played around with it, and you guys enjoyed it. And again, Tony G makes some awesome cases. So if you do, not just for the rack wireless stuff, but Tony G over on Printables has a bunch of cool cases. So, depending on which one you go with, Tony G's probably got at least a case of some kind available. This is the 12 millimeter back to fit the 10.5 millimeter thick 3000 milliamp hour batteries that come, that I got. But these things are like 10.5 mils thick. So do the 12 mil back. I can get, if I know that this is going to be a permanent thing, I'm going to keep it like this, then I can always, undo the back and then put some double-sided sticky tape in here to help keep the battery from rattling around, because the battery does rattle a little bit. Or I could always cut like a thin piece of foam to just set in there to help wedge the battery in place. But, currently my brain's on things like that, like this, and having printers that'll just work. I'm getting like pumped up for this frame. I want to build a V0 now, so that's cool. So as my ADHD kind of bounces me all over. I'll be able to stream, make content, and not feel like, I'm steering you guys in a bad direction. I'm not making you guys think it's only 3D printer content, and then now he's not working on 3D printer stuff and I'm not interested. Just understand I have ADHD. I tend to, project hop a lot. And if I stick with one project for too long, it burns me out, and then I'm not having fun anymore. And then you guys are suffering, I'm suffering, and then we don't stream for a while. So find someone who can program, write some code for a Raspberry Pi and set it all up with a SDR to receive local emergency services, and then use a Pi code to convert that to text. That can be cool. Send that over the mesh. Yeah. People with mesh in your local area can see what's going on locally. Yeah, that'd be cool. That could be cool. Rick, I don't know. I don't know how to do that, but that could definitely be cool. I wish I was focused enough to have ADHD. Yeah. And like I said, I mean, the wonderful part about it is, like, I know it's there. I've been diagnosed with it, so I know I have it. It's just I don't like taking medications. So I really do not like taking medications. I'm not gonna lie. So high blood pressure was a thing when I was 262 pounds. I don't know where my blood pressure's at right now because I haven't been to a doctor in a while. But I do know that when I lost 50 pounds and went to the doctor, I hadn't taken my blood pressure medicine in a while, and they said my blood pressure was looking pretty good. So I'll take that as a win. So no blood pressure medicine, not taking anything for my ADHD. Caffeine is a good stimulant. Nicotine is a good stimulant, even though I wouldn't condone people doing that. But those things kind of help with the day-to-day function. And I take ibuprofen when I get a headache or muscle aches or whatever. I take Sudafed when the sinuses are all jacked up. But other than that, I don't take pills. I don't take pills. I can't do it. So I'll use the stuff that I'm addicted to: caffeine, nicotine, and then I'll just ride it out. And hopefully when I'm working on something, it's a project that'll interest you guys. And if it's something you were interested in and hadn't gotten into, maybe it'll be that spark to help you go. And if not, and it's just, I'm an hour or 2 hours to kill your night for you, great. Thanks for coming and hanging out. So that is kind of where I'm at with everything. I'm just going to make MakerMind Nexus a whatever I want to work on, when I can work on it. And if you guys come along for the ride, great. And if it's not for you and you go on to somebody else, completely understand. I will never get upset if I'm sitting here streaming and you were in my chat and then all of a sudden you disappeared and I didn't hear from you for an hour. I end my stream and I see somebody else is streaming. I go to their stream and then I see you in there chatting for the last hour. I'm not going to be heartbroken or upset. You guys are not going to upset me in any way. So if that ever be the case where you guys are bored and you decide to bounce on to something else, go for it. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I'm not going to be upset. Not that you guys are worried about me, because I'm a big boy. I wipe my own butt. But if that's a thought in your head, get that thought out of your head. Go do what makes you happy. If hanging out with me is what it is, good for you. Viking. Maybe I do. Maybe I don't. But no, gang. Like I said, I really do. Trying to figure that part out. That got weird. But no, I mean, I will say I have gotten pretty lucky with, getting into the space. When I got into the space, I did get pretty lucky in the sense that a lot of companies, I've talked to a lot of people, I've done a lot of things, I've worked with a lot of companies, so I can hop on Viking. Yeah, I can definitely jump over there for a little while and hang out, and I'll try to remember to keep my mouth shut so I don't say dumb things. But no, I got lucky enough when I got into this thing where I met a lot of cool people. I made a lot of good friends. Um, Over the years, you know, as they've all gone on to other things, we don't talk as much as we used to. But life is life, man. Things get in the way. People are busy doing stuff. And I completely understand that. In no way, shape, or form will I ever, you know, uh, think down on someone because we don't talk for a week at a time. I'm guilty of doing that to people too. It's not something I mean to do, but like I said, I've worked with a lot of cool companies. I've had a lot of interesting opportunities, and I take none of them for granted. Other people move on and evolve, and um, that's good for them, and I'm glad to see them moving forward and accelerating at a pace that's, you know, faster than mine. I'm thankful for all of my friends, the ones that started with less people than me and are now 2 and 3 times my numbers. I'm proud of that fact. I'm proud of those people for the hard work they've put in, the dedication they've given. They've definitely been more dedicated than me, and I will admit that. And a perfect example is DeWitt. Tim was a guy that came to my streams and hung out, and I kept telling everybody, I'm like, I'm just an idiot with a webcam and a microphone, and people come and hang out. If I can do it, you can do it. So I ended my stream. DeWitt fired up a stream, and look at him now. His channel has grown like crazy. He's got all kinds of cool people he's working with. He's doing all kinds of amazing things, and I couldn't be happier for the guy. Let's see here. Just finished your Christmas street lamp. Engraved 2 pocket knives, diode, handle fiber, carved out 2 catch-all trays, and the CNC, and then cleared coated them. Nice. Laser engraved your logo in the bottom. Cool, man. That's awesome. That was after going to Lowe's, Home Depot, after getting off of work. Dude, brother, you are staying busy. Nice. Still found time to go to McAllister's. Nice. Hey, man, stay busy, have fun, enjoy yourself. For this video, I have not. I'll have to check that out. I did not see that. I will have to check that out. But I mean, I'm getting ready to go ahead and let you guys get on to other stuff because we've been hanging out for almost 2 hours. Got an hour and 39 minutes of streaming. Make Wonderful Things channel. I'll have to check it out, Gabs. I'll have to check it out. But I like I said, I mean, I'm not the kind of guy who gets pissy about other people's success. I want everybody to succeed. I truly do. If anything I've said has pushed you to do something, that's great. And I wish you more success than me. All that just to say you don't always have time to chat. Hey, Jack, it's all good, man. Like I said, people got lives to live and stuff to do. So if they're just lurking in the background or chatting in the stream, it's all good, man. It's all good. Even if they don't catch a stream and they watch the after, which kind of monster are you to watch a live stream void, man, or VOD? Sorry, not a void, a VOD. Why would you watch that, you monster? Watch it live or don't watch it at all, right? Isn't that the motto? I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding. I appreciate everything. I did see that one of my old videos has made me 39 cents in views. So that's pretty cool. The 39 cents in ad revenue. I'm rolling in the YouTube cash, let me tell you. All the videos I made in the past are all making me about $2 in ad revenue a month. I make a bulk of the YouTube money from you guys here with the memberships and the super chats and stuff. That's where I make a bulk of the money. That's why it takes me 4 months to get a YouTube payout. So thank you for that, guys. Like I said, that YouTube money should hit my account this week. And when it does, I'm gonna go to Rockland and buy some stuff. Gonna go to Rockland and buy some more Meshtastic stuff to play around with. The ads have been heavy. I told it to do like a medium, I think, or low. Like low or medium. I don't usually set it to high, so you're getting blasted with them. So if you are, Michael, I'm sorry, man. Oh, I wish there was like on Twitch where it tells you that the ads are coming up, so I'd know when ads are popping up for you guys. Let's see here. I do have a pause option. I keep forgetting about that. Delay the ads. There we go. Paused it. 10-minute delay. So I put a 10-minute delay on the ads. So not a problem. Just catch up at 2x speed. Yeah, listen to me talk super fast. Yeah. Engage with the audience. Start a Q&A. Start a poll. Members only live stream. New. Schedule your live to switch to members only. I wouldn't do that to you guys. We'll close that. However, it is cool to know that like I can be streaming with you guys and say, okay, gang, now we're going to jump into a members only. So if you're not a member, now's the time to join, you know. But I'm not doing anything that would, you know, I would want to jump into a members only stream. But, you know, it is cool to know that that's now an option in there. So if there was ever something going on and I wanted to, I could. You listen to audiobooks at 2x so you can read a lot of books that way. Nice. Yeah, you get 2 books in the time it takes you to read one normally. But is there anybody else currently on the old YouTubes that maybe we could jump over to and say howdy do? Let me go to YouTube and take a look and see who's currently streaming. Nobody. There is nobody. Oh no, Armor 3D is. We can jump over to Armor. He's working on revisiting the box turtle. So we could definitely go check that out. So yeah, we could definitely go check out Armor. I know Armor wouldn't mind. You've seen paid YouTube allows 3x on mobile. I did not see that, Mr. Cassell. I did not see that. I don't know if we can visit Armor. Let me go see if I can jump over to Armor real quick. Because if I can, we'll set that up. Let's see here. Scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. I think it's under Customize. Yep. Add redirect. And then let's see. Do I have... Oh, I do have Armor as an option. There we go. We'll save it. And then we'll go jump over to Armor. So when this ends, whenever it's done, 4x on the desktop. That's pretty cool. Well, Jack, if you want to do a live, get it fired up and get it going, man. And then I will, I'll jump over to you, you know. Otherwise, we'll just jump over to Armor and watch him work on the box turtle. I mean, if you're a busy guy with too much going on, completely understand. I don't want to force your hand into doing something. Like I said, Armor's currently live, so let's see what Armor's doing. All right. Well, gang, I'm going to go ahead then and wrap this thing up. We're at 1:45. I'll wrap this up. We'll jump over to Armor. I'll listen in the background and lurk and hang out and chat there for a while myself. Probably gonna, I don't know, I got to print some spacers for the car unit, so I'll probably load up some spacers and print those off. I'll reload the ABS back in there and get some spacers printed up so I got those ready to go so that when I order the magnets later this week, unless they show up here before I order them, that I can get the car unit ready to go, which is probably, like I said, is what's going to most likely happen with this is I'll break it down, probably look at those Heltec the Heltec V4s, and then print a couple Tony's cases for those, and you know, kind of do that. So that'll probably be a project coming up in the near future. Once, like I said, the YouTube money hits, I'll hop on Rockland, which there's a link down there, by the way, guys. So that being said, the usual: stay out of trouble, stay out of jail, happy 3D printing, and all the things. And don't forget, I make the mistakes so you don't have to. Bye, gang. Have a good one, and see you over on Armors.